Alright.
Season 2.
Welcome back to Old to You, New to Me, brought to you by the IMBC Network. This shit done got wicked. So the episode opens at the junkyard scene with Jesse, Walt, Tuco, and his two henchmen. But it's like a variance to it. Tuco, like, instead of just knocking this boy out, he beat the fuck out of him like he dead. And he made the other henchmen like put him up under some rubble, some cars and shit. I touch up on that. We'll get to that later. And another variance to the scene is Tuco comes up to Walt and Jesse and does this like, you're done kind of thing. For what? I don't know. These niggas was making blue magic. Why would you have a problem with them? Anyways, they go about their business after that. Jesse go his way, Walt go back to the crib. Speaking of going to the crib, I'm starting to think Skylar like a little selfish. I already knew she was like nosy, but shorty kind of like selfish. She ain't want to let Walt give her that sick dick. Just selfish. Anyways, Jesse brought a gun to protect herself from Tuco with his scary ass, but I probably would have too. By the way, Marie's still a piece of shit. So time passed and Tuco people find out where Walt to live at. So Walt and dumbass try to figure out a way to kill Tuco. Walt bring out these beans and say that he can make something called ricin. It's supposed to be some kind of like poison so they can kill him on a sneak. Oh, and by the way, Hank found out Marie is a blood clot. So they cook up the shit for the beans and make the plan. But then Walt get a call from Hank about the girls. But the twist is he sent him a picture of a crime scene where both of Tuco's guys is still in the junkyard. And Big Buddy that had to put dog up under the cars, his whole shit gone. Thinking that the DEA might be on his trail, he rushed back home and grabbed the money and the guns out of the vent and shit. Then he put it into like this diaper box. After he found Skylar in the tub and she asking him like, what's wrong? He like, I don't even know where to begin type shit. Then he see the lights flash, thinking that it was Tuco's guys or a DEA agent. He goes to the window, finds out it's dumbass. Walt leaves Skylar and goes outside to see what dumbass got going on. Yo, Tuco in the back seat with the blick, like, get in. Walt about to take the ride of his fucking life. They ride off into the sunset, and that's how the first episode ends. The next episode start off with an investigation of where Walt is. I mean, my nigga just walked out of the house, ain't say nothing, rode off. Whole time, Tuco got these boys in the back of the whip, frying in the desert. Shit must have been like an oven. I know they ass was cooking in the back of that trunk. He pulled him out the trunk because they pulled up to this random spot. I'm guessing it's Tuco uncle's spot. He kept calling an old dude that was sitting in the living room watching TV his Theo. Tuco bring him in the house and sit him down in the living room. Then he asked Walt, can I trust you? Walt of course says yes. This nigga got a gun. What the fuck? So then Tuco tells him the feds hit his spot that morning and took his whole team down. Only thing is, he hasn't seen Gonzo. Gonzo is the big dude that had to dump off the other henchman. I figured the nigga ain't lived long enough. I ain't even know his fucking name. He don't know this nigga dead yet. So Tuco going on and on to Walt and Jesse about smuggling these boys into Mexico, or just Walt into Mexico so they can make all of this money. Walt not going though. So him and dumbass like devised this plan on the couch, but in front of the uncle. In front of the OG. I couldn't tell up front, like watching it live, but as the episode progressed, I realized, oh, Buddy got his right mind. He could hear and all of this shit. He just couldn't speak. But he had this bell, the fucking bell. Tuco ended up cooking for these boys because he think that he about to be able to force them to go to Mexico. So he make like these little makeshift quick ass Doritos, burritos, Los Tacos. Since dumbass already fucked up the opportunity to get Tuco to take the poison because he said he put chili peppers in the fucking new batch, Walt decides to try to put it into the burrito. Old man sees this shit. My boy, he get the mean mugging the fuck out of Walt, but he can't speak. So he keep binging the bell. Tuco thinking, oh, this motherfucker want to eat. Tuco like, nah, I'm gonna eat first and then I'm gonna feed you. But he keep looking at Tuco plate. But he can't speak. Oh, he want my plate. I'ma switch that joint. So now the uncle got the joint that Walt poisoned and Tuco don't. He got a regular ass burrito Los Taco. Tuco questioned him a little bit like, did they do something to you? Did they do something wrong? But he trying to understand this bell system. Then he finds out one being is yes, no being is no. Or was it two beings is no? Or some shit like that. He goes through a line of questioning with his uncle to figure out what is going on and why he feeling this way towards these dudes. He get to the point where he say, are they playing me, Theo? Theo say, bing, Tuco take these motherfuckers out in the back. He got the on them boys. Well, just Jesse, he's a dumbass. He says, "What did you do?" Walt tell him, "We tried to poison you." But he was like elongating this shit a little bit, right? That's because he saw Jesse was gripping that big ass rock. My man turn around and do something right for the first time this whole series I've been watching. He bow, boom, and some Oprah shit. He disoriented for a second, so Walt grabbed the fire. And this my mans and all, but Walter really be thinking too much. Like, he not really, reactive. Luckily, dumbass made the mistake of grabbing Tuco's pants, and his gun was back there, and he was able to let that motherfucker pop, pop, do. Shot him in his ribs or some shit like that. I ain't gonna lie, he came in clutch. Then they kicked him in the ditch on some "this is Sparta" shit. Try to make a run for it, right? They get into the car. Tuco got the keys. And I think they left their wallet and shit in there too. But it didn't show in the rest of the episode, so I don't know. But wouldn't that make sense? If you think so, put it down in the comments. So they start talking about going back to Tuco and getting the keys. But before they can finish the thought, they see the dust coming up a road. They like, oh shit, somebody about to pull up. Hold on to that thought. So Tuco get up, because it's not like a fatal hit. He was just going to die slow. But Walt and dumbass is not sticking around to figure out if he's going to stay alive or if he's going to die. Especially since they think that it's the cousins that was supposed to come pick them up and take them across the border to Mexico. So they hide behind some rocks with the gun. And guess who steps out the whip? Hank! Ain't life crazy? This nigga was just in the room with his whole investigation team saying that they need to catch this nigga, and then he just pull up looking for Walt. Here's Tuco, bloody face, hole in his ribs, somehow still able to crack his neck and reach in for a gun at the speed of lightning. They get into this GTA shootout. You could have guessed it. Tuco took one to the face. Pause. That was crazy. So they slide off into the dusty ass desert, which is where it opens up into the next episode. Now, either I got access to some kind of bootleg or they omitted this part from the show. They devised a plan some kind of way. Walt and Jesse, while they was walking through the desert, devised a plan. I don't know if they did or if they didn't. Like I said, it's not in the episode that I saw. And I only watched the first 3 episodes. So don't spoil it for me. But it seems like they made this plan because it comes up to a scene where they hitchhiking on the side of the road and Walt jumps in the back of the truck, but Jesse doesn't. Then out of the blue, he butt-ass naked in the grocery store in front of the fucking meat cooler. But wait, there's more. Then we see him in the hospital with Skylar and Walt Jr. talking to a doctor. Now, my thoughts initially to that was, yo, perfect way to come back. Anyways, they doing post-investigation on both Hank and Jesse. Walt stays in the hospital for a while, but Jesse is still outside, and he tying up like these loose ends. Like, I think that's why I keep saying I think they made a plan. He's like tying up these loose ends and knowing certain shit gonna happen. While Walt in the hospital bed, they asking him all of these questions, and then they come to this conclusion that they gotta do some kind of psychiatric test on him. Walt slick hit him with the 52 fake out though. He tell the psychiatrist the whole fucking story due to patient confidentiality. Now, this is where I kind of gotta stop calling Jesse dumbass. The nigga he clutched this episode. I don't know what to say. Last episode and this episode, dog, he's kind of clutch. On his side, the DEA doing their investigation, mostly because the car was his, which is the only reason why Hank was able to find Tuco, because he was looking for the car. So they find Jesse in a what seems like set up hotel situation. Caught him in there with one of the fiends for the So they take him and Shorty to the precinct. Get there, they asking them all kind of questions. They grilling dog for real. And Shorty. But Jesse stays solid. Like, really solid. And I don't know what he promised Shorty, but she stays solid too. I mean, I give credit where credit's due. So they think they got him by the cojones. Plot twist, they got Theo. Jesse looked like he seen a ghost when they pulled that nigga in the hallway. Whole time they brought him up there to try to help the case, not knowing this is OG triple OG quadruple. He not helping the feds, Shorty. They found out his little bell system and all of that shit. He answered the first few questions just to put him on the trail. Like, man, I know the sky is blue. I know we don't live on Saturn, so on and so forth. But then they start asking him the hard questions, like, was he there for the, my boy sat there like this. Being that OG ain't say nothing, they had to let them go. They switch over to Walt's account, and he's still in the hospital. after receiving a phone call from Jesse, he get to think about money, and then it dawns on him he left the money in a diaper box with a gun. I think it's safe to assume if Shorty snitched on her sister, she would snitch on her husband. I just really don't like Skylar. I don't know what happened. I thought it was Marie. I don't like neither one of them. Anyways, somehow Walt sneaks out of the hospital and makes it to his house to get the money and put it back into the same place that he pulled it out of. Luckily, nobody hurt him, but my question is, this nigga took the bus back to the hospital? When did Walt become a ninja? Anyways, it ends with Walt going back to the house and Skylar kind of grilling him again the same annoyingly way she been doing. That bitch getting on my motherfucking nerves now. Just selfish. But that's the recap for Breaking Bad Season 2, Episode 1 through 3. If you enjoyed the content, I need you to hit that subscribe button and make sure the bell notification is on so you stay tapped in. My name is Sin If I Didn't Say So, and this is Old to You, New to Me, brought to you by the IMBC Network. I get with y'all next week. Peace.